Hey team, Jesse Reynolds here. Got your WOD video for Monday morning. I think it's now May the 11th. And just want to talk to you about really my third big takeaway from leadership school. So we talked about the importance of Success School 2 weeks ago. Then we talked about the importance of the plug and play mixers last week. And this was really, for me, the third big takeaway that I had. And this one was definitely not anything new. In fact, this is something that has been a focus point for Beth and mine really through our AdvoCare journey. But you can kind of go in and out of focus, and so this just really brought this back to the forefront and the focus for us. And I know so many other distributors on the team received the message because it was very clear, especially if you were in national leadership. And I want to talk to you about Debt Buster. And we've got a few different points to hit on with you about the Debt Buster program. And I realize that some of you don't even know what Debt Buster is. So that's the first thing I want to help make sure that you understand what it is, why it's so important, and then how to use it, not just to get yourself out of debt, but then also how to use it as a fantastic business building tool, because this really is one of the few things that helps set AdvoCare apart from all the other companies out there in the direct sales world. So here's what Debt Buster is first. It is completely free for every distributor, not just advisors, every distributor. All you have to do is call the 800 number, 800-542-4800. That's 800-542-4800. You call them up on a weekday and say, hey, it's so-and-so, send me Debt Buster, please. They even pay the shipping for you. It is a fantastic program. So here's the number one step for you. Do you have any debt? Debt would include student loans, car payments, credit cards, mortgages, many other forms. If you owe money in any way on anything, that is debt, okay? And so debt is not good, and we advocate debt freedom in AdvoCare. And so if you have any debt at all, even if you've maybe already been on a debt reduction program, maybe like you've been using Financial Peace, and that's great if you are. If you have any sort of debt, call that number today and order your Debt Buster kit. That's where it starts, okay? And then it's really simple. Follow the steps of Debt Buster. What Debt Buster is, it is a step-by-step process invented and developed by Ron Reynolds that will help you greatly accelerate your debt reduction. Beth and I, we use Debt Buster to pay off $15,000 of credit card debt our first 12 months in AdvoCare. That's a very significant amount of money to pay off in a very short period of time, especially when you consider I was a teacher and a coach and she was a college student not working. So that's very powerful right there to have your hands on something like that. So that's number one, is get your Debt Buster kit orders. Just like, remember, the 3 steps of the success system are use the products, talk to people, invite them to see more. Well, so that's a product that AdvoCare offers. The great part is it's a free product, so there's no reason to not order and use your Debt Buster kit. That's where it starts right there, okay? So now the next thing is, I want to encourage you to start shifting your message, especially if you've had some really strong product results with the, maybe weight loss or energy or sports performance. So that's great. Continue to share that. But I want to encourage you, just with every single conversation now, if you have any debt whatsoever, start adding that into your story. So let's just say you've got $10,000 of student loans as a simple example. So you can say, you know what, I got started on the products. I lost 10 pounds and 2 inches in my first 24 days. I decided to start sharing them with others because I looked just because of how much better I was feeling and looking. And you know what? We started making an extra $200 a month. And our plan is to use AdvoCare's free Debt Buster program, and we're going to knock out $10,000 of student loans over the next year and a half. So you can tie that right in there. And I realize that those are just, for instance, numbers. Those may not be exactly accurate. The point is, you can use the Debt Buster program, and it will tell you exactly how fast you will accelerate your debt reduction payments. So you just want to start adding that into your story every time. Why are you doing AdvoCare? Getting out of debt. Now, why is this so important? Because 5 out of every 6 people you talk to out there, not only do they have debt and they have no plan of how to get out of debt. I mean, maybe they'd like to get out of debt, and maybe they're hoping and praying. In fact, I'd say the majority of them are hoping and praying to get out of debt. But the reality is, without a plan to get out of debt, it's just a hope and a prayer, and it's not going to happen for them. That's where we come in, and we provide a tangible, proven, step-by-step system to help them get out of debt. You want to see your business start moving? Start talking to people about getting out of debt, because debt freedom is the one freedom that unlocks the doors to all other freedoms. So that's what we're going to start doing now. We're going to start talking to people about debt. We're going to start sharing our story. You've got to let the walls down. If you want to have a bunch of pride and you want to act like you got it all together when your family's drowning in debt, then that's a poor decision that's going to cost you your future here. But if you can just have some humility, if you can just let the walls down and say, you know what, we took on a little more credit card debt than we wanted to early on. You know what, we bought a little more square footage than we really could have afforded early on in our marriage, and now we got this debt that we're stuck under. And Advocare is helping us climb out of that. You're going to start finding a lot of other people are going to start letting their walls down too. Don't assume, Beth and I, we just relocated and we moved into a very nice neighborhood. And when I see big homes and nice cars, guys, you know what I see? Big car payments and big mortgages that people can't afford. So many people in our society are caught up in keeping up with the Joneses. Don't assume just because they got a nice job, with a big six-figure income. Look at what's going on our team today. We have so many doctors and lawyers and high level salespeople that are earning these huge paychecks that are flocking to Advocare because we have a better way. Because we don't just help people earn significant incomes, but we help them do it on a very limited time basis, and we help them get debt free so they have true options for their families. You want to start talking about debt. And the last part is, this gets uncomfortable. You got to ask people questions about debt. So you don't just necessarily run up and stop strangers on the street and say, "Hey, do you got any debt?" But just when and you've got to use some discernment through this process. I want to encourage you to just start talking to people about things. When you see somebody's going back to school, how are you going to pay for that? Or you talked about, hey, if do you see yourself doing this job long term? No. Oh, why? What is it you'd like to do? Why haven't you done that yet? Do you guys continue dropping your kids off at daycare? I mean, is that something that you see yourself doing long term? Have you thought about how you're going to pay for little Johnny to go to college in a few years? Start having those types of conversations, asking people about that. Get a little uncomfortable, step into their comfort zone a little bit, and what you're going to start finding is if you can, and not prying. That's the thing. We're not trying to pry, but have a servant heart, have a humble heart, and try to just really understand what's going on with people and be that message of hope. And just, what if I could show you guys how to get out of that mortgage you're stuck in? What if we could show you how to finally pay off those evil student loans? What if we could show you how to afford to send your kids to college in a few years when it's time for them to go to college? Talk to people about that stuff. Have intentional one-on-one conversations. Not just hashtag debt freedom on your Facebook. That turns people off. That's bragging. You doing arrogant things like that. I'm talking about just being gentle. I'm talking about being humble. I'm talking about being compassionate and having direct conversations. I'm talking about being excited about what you have your hands on here with a vehicle and tool for debt freedom for yourself. And the last thing I'll say about it, guys, is if you are pursuing debt freedom, which the majority of you watching this message, you should be. Again, order your Debt Buster, but don't just order your Debt Buster, do the Debt Buster. Don't just do the Debt Buster, apply a positive slight edge, and you throw everything you got at that debt, and you get yourself out of debt as quickly as possible, because it changes everything. Finances are the #1 cause of divorce in this country. The American family is under attack. We have a way to defend other families. We have a way to rescue other families, but it starts with us. We have got to show them and model for them what a lifestyle of debt freedom looks like. So you throw everything you got at the Debt Buster system, you throw everything you got at your Advocare business, and you bring that message of hope. Have intentional, direct conversations with people about debt. Share with them about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and keep updating people on it as well. And if you've paid off your first credit card at $1,000, celebrate that, be excited. And you pay off your second credit card, you have $1,500, celebrate that, be excited, and let that momentum continue to build and continue to share that story. And I promise you, it'll be just a matter of time before other people start wanting to go the direction you're going. You guys are champions. Let's go out there and change the world.